The format of tonight's meeting is to have a guest speaker share their experience, strength and hope on how the Alcoholics Anonymous programme of recovery is working in their lives for 15 to 20 minutes. Tonight we have asked Mark to share.
Thanks, Bo. G'day everyone, I'm Mark, I'm an alcoholic and I'm sober today. I'll just let it blurt out because I haven't thought of anything. Look, I first was introduced to AA when I was 23, so that's a long time ago, 28 years ago. And I hung around for 5 years and I didn't really accept that, well, I just thought I was different to everyone and I didn't have to do anything that's up on the walls, I guess, is the truth be known. And I went back out and I went back out for a week. So I've been battling with staying sober in AA for 28 years. My last drink was just short of 11 years ago, and I hope if I keep doing what I'm doing now a day at a time, I have a great chance of staying sober on a daily basis. I hate this. I was asked at 5:30 and I had to race home and I got a heap of shit done for an anniversary tomorrow and anyway, look, it's been a bit of a rough journey, but it's been a great journey as well. I've met some beautiful people along the way. Some of the old timers that I know, some people may know them, I don't know. I'm from down the peninsula, Frankston way, so an old guy called Day at a Time Laurie, he was a little fart of a man who had about 40 years of sobriety, and he stood about here on me and he used to point his finger and say, "It's a day at a time, sonny, it's a day at a time." And I thought, if you point one more time, I'm going to break that fucking finger of yours. And, you know, when I got back, well, my last drink was because I wasn't spiritually sound. I had been married many years ago and I had three, I still got a couple of daughters. But my middle daughter was killed in the car accident just over 11 years ago, and she actually worked in a hotel as a chef. And I was living in Sydney at the time and I flew over to do what you do for that sort of thing, and I was fine. I went through the identification and all that sort of stuff and helped get the funeral organised and all that stuff quite calmly, without a drink. Thought I was handling it really well. And then I went to have a look where she was last at, which was her work, because she was coming home from work when the accident happened, and they just handed me a pot of beer and I took it and I drank it. And I got through the second one. And then they handed me a third, and then the tears started to roll down my face, and they said, "Do you want something stronger?" And I said, "I don't really want this. I'm an alcoholic. I shouldn't be drinking." And I can laugh about it now, but it was like my family were on suicide watch or something. I don't know what it was, but I've never seen a group of family members race to a hotel so quick. It was like they all, Keystone cops, they all screeched their brakes to see if I was okay, and I was just laying on the grass out the front of the hotel, and they got me back home. And anyway, that was pretty traumatic, and still is today. I still suffer the grief of losing Carly. She was only 17 and she'd be 28 today. It's just gone past her birthday. And anyway, I won't get into that because there might be a few tears there, so I'll leave that one alone for a bit. But anyway, it's been a major struggle. And I thought, well, fuck this, I need to get back to AA. I tried to drink myself to death, basically. I believed that I knew better than my 17-year-old daughter where she had to go. And I did, it's probably really important too. I did try to take my life back in Sydney when I went back. I went back to resign my job and pack up my house and move back here to be closer to my other two kids, and I took an overdose of tablets and a bucket load of piss. I don't know how much alcohol I drank. And all I can remember, I can't remember being put in the ambulance, but I do remember ringing a few people. So we talk about resentments. I remember doing my resentments list. And actually, I wonder if I did put this person, I'll have to recheck it. Because I rang people and told them what I really thought of them. And one of them was a girl at work. She was an absolute bitch. And unfortunately I was working in the music industry, and it can be a bit nasty, that industry anyway. And I just rang her and I paid out big time on her, and that's all I can remember that I did. And then I woke up and I was in the psych ward at Bankstown Hospital in New South Wales, and I was there for a week, and I was there with a few nutty people, and I didn't realise they were nutty, so it just proves that my brain wasn't working too well. And I got out of there and I moved back here to Melbourne, and I've been bumming around in various places. My alcoholism kicked in 100%. For 4 months after I lost Carly, it was the worst drinking I could ever imagine anyone to do. There was a house I was looking at in Frankston. It was a beautiful old house in Frankston South, and it was really old. It was huge. It had all these big old rooms with open fires and everything, and no one was living in it, and I'd applied to take that house over, and I was that smashed this night I couldn't go home to my mum's. Plus, with the grief of losing Carly, I still were having these bouts. They call them animalistic cries, and so I could be just sitting there, and all of a sudden I'd just come out with these horrible moans and groans and tears, and people probably on the train thought I was pretty crazy. But I remember this night I got smashed. I used to work in Richmond, and I used to carry a bladder from a wine cask in my bag and a little orange juice bottle, and I used to stick my head in my bag and drink it all the way to work in Richmond. And then I'd drink all through the day at Richmond, and then I would come home, I'd try and finish what I've got, and then I'd go around the bottle shops in Frankston and try and find the cheapest cask, and then I'd sit on the foreshore and I'd drink myself to oblivion. And I remember breaking into that house a week before I actually got accepted to have that house, and I fell asleep in the bath, and I pulled an old rug off the floor, and that's where I was asleep. And my family had been looking for me, and I don't know how they found out I was there, but they found me. It's just not fucking normal. That's not normal. Look, alcohol just makes me do amazingly silly things. And I probably do a few silly things nowadays, but they're not as silly as what they were when I'm drinking. So I got back into the fellowship 4 months after losing Carly, and I thought, well, the world doesn't stop. I keep saying this, and it sounds horrible, but I had the realisation that, well, when I lost her, I thought everyone should just feel sorry for me. And no bastard did, and that's how I felt. I'm just telling you how I felt at the time. But what I did realise was the world just keeps turning, and people keep moving, and everything keeps going, and my world felt like it had stopped, and everyone else kept going. So I just thought, well, look, you've tried 2 suicide attempts, you're not very good at it. Probably it is a good choice to give up the piss and try AA again. So I walked back into the rooms and gave myself a year. I thought, well, I'll sit there for a year, and if nothing works, I'll just go back out and have my hell back. And it did work, because I had a willingness then. I knew that I couldn't go through what I did those last 4 months of my drinking. And it's been a great journey, it really has, but there's been a lot of fucking hard times in there as well. I've had to deal with a lot of shit that I didn't want to tell anyone. I've had to come out of the closet about my sexuality. So anyone that doesn't know me, I'm poof. Well, sorry, if there's any gay people, I'm gay. And you know, I've had to I had to stop hiding all the time. I was always in a closet about something, and not just my sexuality, it was a lot of other things. I think I was born to lie, and that's been my biggest lesson, trying not to lie, because I'm great at just making up excuses, and I don't even have to think about it, it just falls out, and that's where it is. And I remember when I was trying to clean up my lying, and I'd tell people something, and then I'd have to make an amends straight away and say, that's all bullshit, I'm so sorry, but that's the old Mark talking. anyway, look, it was a really, really hard journey, but I'm going to be really honest, for me, it wasn't as hard as my drinking was, I don't believe. That last 4 months of my drinking was just fucking hard work. And even though there was stuff that I had to face going through the steps, and I thought that it was going to be really hard, I had a really, really good sponsor. He had a lot of years of sobriety. He wasn't going to take bullshit. He was a bit of a table banger, and I probably needed a good kick up the arse. And he just gently but roughly took me. So I don't know how you can work that one out, but at times he could be very gentle, and other times he could be brutally strong and tell me it's about time I pull my finger out of my ass and start doing something about the program. And we went through the steps, and you know, the only step there that I really, I was really scared of doing the 4th step. But the first step was the one that I believe had fucked me up for the first, whatever many years it was before I got back again, because I never fully accepted that first step. We went through it. Now, I hear a lot of people just race through the steps and race through the steps. Mate, I didn't even know who I was when I come in. I had to come to meetings to hear my story, to know what I had done. I don't know about other people, but my head was pretty fucked. So it's funny, I live down St Kilda now. I used to steal cars and come down here to sell them, but I didn't know who I was going to sell them to, so I'd just drive them home again. And because I'd drive down here in a blind rage and think, oh yeah, I'll be able to sell it. St Kilda, it's really dirty, sleazy, I'll be able to sell it. And then I just drive it home. And then I remember stealing a bike once from the station, and I went to take it back the next morning, and some bastard pinched it from my backyard, and I thought, oh, you turds, how dare you. But nothing that was ever nailed down. If it wasn't nailed down, I actually could have started a garden shop with all the wrought iron furniture that I picked up in people's front yards. I'd just come home from the pub in the middle of the night, and I'd have this big fucking heavy wrought iron double seat couch on me fucking shoulders, and I'd wake up in the morning and there it was, and I think, oh, I really did do that, it wasn't a dream. So I've had to learn not to steal, and I tell you what, when you've done it, well, when I did this program, I actually feel guilty if I'm going to do something wrong. I'm one of these people, and I never understood it, but I just do it automatically. If someone gives me too much change at the register, I give them back the change and say, you've given me too much. Because it just plays on my brain. It's a guilt trip that I just don't want to go through with. And it's funny because the old Mark, even though I believe I'm a different person today, I'll walk down the street and I'll see, I did see him going to Armadale a couple of weeks ago. There was this, it looked about size 10 brand new Adidas shoe on someone's porch, and I thought, fuck, if that was my old days, they would have been in my bag and I would have taken them home. But I was just laughing at the fact that I could just walk past it and just laugh at my past. And look, I've had to pay the penance for that too. Pentridge was part of my story as well. So anyway, I was able to clear a lot of the garbage away with my sponsor, and I believe that just freed me to this new life that I have today. And it is a great life, and I'm not financially, I'm pretty fucked really, and I fucked up a Visa card, something chronic. I just went way overboard when I moved up here. But you know, I dealt with that, and I dealt with it maturely, and I'm paying that back. But yeah, look, it is a really good life, but I have to let it into my life. But, well, I never had a life before, really. I just lived in existence. My drinking days was just purely living the existence to get my next drink. Today, I get up in the morning, I feel free. I've started reading the daily reflections. It makes me feel better. When I don't read it, I feel pretty crap. Prayer with me is something I do when I'm walking. I don't know why, I just do. Sometimes I have got down on my knees, and I must admit I feel better when I do it, but I don't do it enough. And meditation is something that I've had to find myself. I haven't gone chasing it. And So anyway, look, it's 10 years, 9 months and so many days, whatever it is nowadays. I really don't know, and I don't care because I do my program a day at a time. The only reason I do know, and there's a lot of what I call special people in the fellowship, and I only know my date of when I come in because it was Christmas Day, and there was a meeting in Frankston, and a young guy that had been driving me around, he actually leant on my shoulder and he said, "Did you know today is 5 months since you walked in the rooms?" And I thought, how the fuck do you know? Like, I wouldn't remember when I walked in. And you know what? I've never seen that kid again. And I hope him all the best. But it was amazing that someone else knew before me. But anyway, it's been a journey. I love my journey today. I'm meeting lots of new people. I love my life. I live with an AA member, and that does my head in a bit, so I hope he doesn't hear that recording. He's a newer member, but it's all cool. It's cool. I just, I've become very particular in how I like to live my life and certain stuff, and new members can be a bit dumpy. But look, he's a great guy, and I'm having fun. So if you do listen to this, you're okay, mate. He probably will. He'll probably download it. Hopefully he doesn't know who I am. Yeah, but look, it has been, and I've made some great friends, and it's just, I love the social part of AA too. It's got a great social feel for me. I love going out for dinner and coffees with people, and it's just so different to where I was before. So I've done the 180 turn, I believe. I'm probably at 178 or something, so I haven't quite got there, but I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm just aiming to be able to live my life and be the best person I possibly can a day at a time. And I said that any more than 15 minutes is bullshit, so I'm pretty close to the 15 minutes, if not over. Yeah, so anyone struggling, all you new members, actually I love it when you get up, because I was too gutless to do that. I think it's amazing you've got the guts to stand up and say that you're X amount, because I did not like the focus on me, and in actual fact I've taken my glasses off because I can't really see you, because I don't like doing this either. But I love the fact that you get up and you say that you're 7 days, 12 days, 14 days, whatever it may be. I just think it's amazing, and it's a great way for older members to come up and talk to you later too, so you can be helped through your journey. And the biggest gift, or the biggest thing I found in the fellowship that keeps me going, is I watch the older members and I follow their tail lights. I don't know if that makes sense to many people, but it does to me. They've gone through the journey before I have. I know it works because they've got through it, and they can help me go through it as well. So that's why I keep coming back. And I'm an AA junkie. I've actually picked up another addiction. I'm a junkie to AA. And but you know what? That's fine with me as well. I love coming and I love listening. Like, I went to a meeting in Moonee Ponds. Who would go over to Moonee Ponds? It's miles away. But I went there last night and it was really great. So I get my ass around and see what's around, and I just love pretty much every meeting I go to. I don't find too much that I don't like at meetings. So. But I've had to be willing to do it, and I've had to find the higher power of my understanding. I am going to finish up, but I remember I misunderstood what God meant, and I was trying to find church, and I went to all these churches, and I went to a New Wave Salvation Army, and they had all these names up, and they had my name up there. I mean, my name's Mark. It's a pretty basic name, but they had thousands of these names up there, so when you walked in you had to put a badge on. And I felt really good, but I realised, and talking to other members, that that's not what I was really looking for. What I needed to find was a higher power of my understanding to guide me through this. And I think it was Kevin that said it at a meeting, and I really loved it, it's the energy of the universe that keeps me going. So use people at my higher power on many occasions, and I think that's why I keep coming back. Thanks.